The story has its genesis in the fact that I lived on a street 1 block away from the street where we set the story. I lived above an older gentleman whose name was Charlie, which is the name of my main character, who saved his parking spot with a milk crate. The idea that their parking is so dear here, and the milk crate was one of them, a chair is another, ways that they would be saving their parking spot. It's really a great neighborhood. It's a love letter I wrote to my old neighborhood.
We're trying to tell a story that plays an integral role in our narrative, so I hope that people take away, people take away the fact that, our film shows Bloomfield in a different way, and not necessarily what you see driving by in your car every day.
And Lawrenceville has a great identity as a neighborhood. It's a very, very clear and solid place. One of the guys who worked on our movie grew up here and had all of these great stories about the neighborhood and about sneaking into Allegheny Cemetery to make movies.
A fantastic resource for us, because we shot a lot in the cemetery, and every time we needed a particular location, I would say to him, okay, we need the wall to be exactly this high, but it needs to be stone and not metal. And he was like, come with me. And he took us right to exactly the spot that we needed.
There's a kind of juxtaposition of this old history with Homestead and this new, emerging future. If you look at the spot where the mills are now, it's the future of Homestead. We have this great opportunity to show people, what's going on here in a very interesting way.
To me, it was an opportunity to be creative and showcase a place that I love. I love Pittsburgh. I've traveled other places, been other places, but there's just something about Pittsburgh I love.
And as I was sort of, in my idea bank that I would use for films, so many of those stories relate to the neighborhood.
I moved from New York and Jeremy moved from Chicago, so we've both been in really large metropolitan areas. When we, came to Pittsburgh, people were knocking on our doors when we moved, and bringing us sort of neighbor gifts and things that you would never experience in a larger area. But what we started doing was just looking at things in our neighborhood and built our story around our neighborhood. A story about learning how to be a good neighbor.
As a filmmaker, an artist, it's actually a duty of ours to try to bring the stories out of these neighborhoods and in the city and how beautiful it is. And I love Pittsburgh. I'm hoping this project actually brings other filmmakers and other artists that have moved away from Pittsburgh to move back.